Anyways, today I wanted to make a game simulating getting a coffee from a coffee shop. This doesn't really sound like a game, to be honest, but I kind of turned it into one, so you'll see. Anyways, before I get started, I just wanted to let you know that if you have a game or an app that you want me to showcase at the end of my next video, you can submit it at the first link in the description. Anyways, I made this game in 3 hours, so it was a bit of a time crunch, but I kind of got it done. It's good enough for me. So the first thing that I did was do the terrain, just made some grass. I got something. I'm not very good at creating terrain, obviously, but, it'll work for now. Once I got some basic terrain down, I started building the coffee shop itself, because obviously if this is a simulator of getting some coffee, you're going to need a coffee shop. So I just built the floor first, copy and pasted a few blocks, copy and pasted them again for the walls, and then again for the roof. So basically the coffee shop is just a box. For now, anyways. Obviously, it doesn't really look like a coffee shop yet, and it never really will, because, we're going for kind of an abstract coffee shop, but we'll get there later. Anyways, from inside the coffee shop right now, it's completely dark. And in my last video, I did this glowing light thing, and I thought it looked pretty cool. I kind of like the look. And I'm not really going for the most accurate coffee shop. I'm just going for some that looks like kind of interesting, So what I did was I just made that glowing material again here. I made some red and some black, because red and black I think they go pretty well together. So I just used those, did, the walls in red, the floor in black, and then this checkered pattern on the ceiling, because I just think it looks cool. And then from there, I was like, yeah, this looks good, but I feel like you kind of just need to break it up a little bit. It's too big for a coffee shop, so I just put a wall through the middle, kind of separating it into two different sections. From there, I kind of just made this sign for coffee shop, and I placed that straight up on the wall. And I figured, okay, if we're putting the sign for the coffee shop there, it makes sense to put the counter for the coffee shop directly in front of that. So that's what I did. I realized it would be a lot of work to actually make it so that the player could walk up to the coffee shop counter and interact with cashier and order their coffee that way. But, I never order my coffee that way anyways. I just go on the app. So we'll just do that. We're going to be app only at this cafe, no in-person interactions necessary, right? Okay, cool. So that's what I did. I just put up a sign saying you can pick up your orders here. So that works for me. And then from there, I made like a simulation of a mobile app, but I made it super simple. It's just one button. It says order your cold brew, because that's the only coffee you should be getting anyways. So you can order your cold brew on that app, close that out, and then when you walk up to the coffee shop and you go up to the counter, you're gonna see a message saying your cold brew is ready, and then you can just close out of that. But then it says this: how are you going to get out of here? Yeah, you probably noticed the door to the place is in the ceiling. So how are you going to get out? There's no ladder, no stairs. Like, what were they thinking when they built this thing? Put the door in the ceiling, so you probably would have died on the way in anyways, but apparently not. So how are you going to get out? Well, yeah, that's how I turned this into a game. Yeah, we have our coffee now. We got that. That's solid. Coffee was good. We didn't have to interact with any people on their way in, which is solid too. But now we're in this coffee shop alone, and we don't know how to get out. There's a bunch of tables around here, but what do we do? So yeah, I added a little hidden exit. You walk through that, and you get into this like basement type thing. I had to mess around with that a little bit because there was a ton of grass all over the place. Had to just like fuss around with that. It was kind of frustrating, but eventually I got something that looked okay. And so from there, I just added some platforms so that the player could actually walk correctly. And then I got to make this a little more challenging, not just like you find this exit, because it's pretty obvious, not gonna lie. So like that's not a game, right? So I made it so that like you got to walk up this like platform and make a jump, which is, I think most people would figure out pretty quickly, maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. At 2 or 3 minutes, I don't really consider that a game either. So then I added some other stuff, like some more complicated jumps, which should just make it a little bit harder for people. I don't know, I failed them sometimes, but they're pretty easy. It's just, a little bit more difficult. From there, you'll find this sphere, I guess. And when you touch the sphere, you'll realize that your character just became small. Well, it is good, because what you probably didn't notice earlier is that there's this small exit somewhere else in the coffee shop. Yeah, you'll figure it out if you download the game and you become small, right? And then you go around and you'll see a little exit and you'll be able to exit. And then yeah, you're out of the coffee shop. You got your coffee. The only sacrifice is like half of yourself, because now you're half the size you originally were, but I guess it's worth the coffee. I don't know. Also, I realized that the grass kind of doesn't really look good at all, so I just replaced it with gold, because none of this looked realistic anyway. So I realized, why are we trying to look realistic with grass? We can just use gold. It looks better. And then I put these walls around it so that you don't see like the edge of the world, because there's not really an edge to the world. The earth is round, it's not flat. And then I changed the sky and just changed the color, I guess. I don't know. And then I made it so that the player starts up in the sky and then they get launched at the coffee shop, just because, it looks better. Good start to the game, solid, fun things, some fun way to start the game. And yeah, here is the final output of the game, just me running through it real quick. And I'm gonna end the game at the point when I hit the thing that makes me small, because I want you guys to figure out how you escape the actual place after that, but it's pretty simple. You'll probably figure it out. In the future, I'm going to make a few more videos just making this look more realistic and better, and secondly, I'm going to add more complications to escaping the coffee shop, Also, I might make it so you actually have to drive to the coffee shop, because this is supposed to be a simulation of getting coffee, but I have to drive to the coffee shop after I order that on my app, so it would make more sense that way. Anyways, just a reminder that if you have a game or some kind of app you want me to showcase at the end of my next video for 30 seconds, you can submit it at the first link in the description. If you want to download this game, it's at the second link in the description. Alright, thanks. Bye.